Oh, bitch, I didn't know it was my camera. We were
Can you go?
Go.
Oh, it's recording? Hi, my name is Jack. I am an only child and a child of divorce. I was raised fully Jewish, but I have a lot of Christian family on my dad's side. I have been extremely involved with music since I was about 10 years old. At school, I participate in theater and a cappella. I want to pursue music business as a career. I am passionate about causes such as feminism, LGBTQ+ topics, and the Black Lives Matter movement.
Go.
Hi, my name is Olivia. I live with my parents, my brother, and my 2 dogs. I was raised in a Reformed Jewish family. I've lived in America my whole life. I don't speak any languages fluently besides English. I'm very passionate about certain causes like feminism, politics, and helping people worldwide through charity and medicine. Advocating for these causes helped me to be an active member of my society.
Hi, my name is Leanne. I'm a bilingual Israeli-American. I'm the middle child of 4 sisters. My family loves to travel, and so I've been to many different countries. I volunteer as the chapter director of Israeli Scouts, which is an organization that I devote a lot of my time to, and I also work as a tutor. Recently, I have built a strong support system through my friends. I care a lot about academics, and I'm an advocate for human rights and the awareness of rape culture. Although I am not religious, my family celebrates Jewish culture.
Jewish
culture.
Hi, my name is Evan. My parents adopted me when I was almost 2 years old from Bulgaria. I don't have any siblings, but I do have my dog. The life I've led so far has been fairly simple. I enjoy traveling during the summer, and I've been to many parts of our country and the world through doing this. I've seen great hunger, poverty, and sadness in the world.
The first story we'll be addressing is Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? By Joyce Carol Oates. The first thing I noticed was that the protagonist, Connie, appears to be very confident on the surface, but is really insecure and constantly compares herself to her so-called better sister June. This reminded me of another story that we read, The Hills Like White Elephants by Ernest Hemingway, because in both short stories, I noticed that both women lacked self-confidence and self-security. The oppression of both women by manipulative men also shows to be a very prevalent theme in both of these stories. I think that I chose to read and interpret these stories as I did because of my passion for feminism. This passion influences the way that I view and analyze literature greatly because it has been such an important and significant part of my upbringing.
The story Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? By Joyce Carol Oates inspired me to consider the symbolic characteristics of both Connie and Arnold Friend. Connie is a teenager who feels suffocated in her home and acts rebellious, yet still represents the purity and innocence of youth. Additionally, her kidnapper, Arnold Friend, represents the evils of society through the aggression and persuasion in his voice that leads to Connie submitting herself to his power over her. The One to Walk Away from Omelas also describes these innate characteristics through the citizens sacrificing one baby to represent the evil in their society in order to keep the peace of their home. In both pieces of literature, there have been clear divergences that the characters have displayed. In Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? Connie could have stayed on the phone and contacted the police to help save her, but instead she is persuaded by Arnold Friend's voice and is lured to her kidnapping. Similarly, the Omelan citizens who are horrified at what is happening to the child face a choice as well, to help change their society or leave. The prospect of having 2 distinct options is very clear to me because I was adopted, and so in my life there have been 2 divergences as well.
Everything is fear-driven. I noticed that many of the short stories we read express this. Fear of change, fear of being ostracized by the community, fear of sacrifice, fear of expressing opinion. In his Nobel Prize speech, William Faulkner says that our tragedy today is a general and universal physical fear. In many of the short stories, we were left with cliffhangers. Where are you going? Where have you been? Leaves the reader wondering, why did Connie go to Arnold? Was it the fear for herself or the fear for her family which was threatened? Connie's actions are the epitome of fear controlling human actions. I believe that although fear is natural and prevalent in society, it does not have to be the only catalyst or motivator. We have love, we have passion. We should not live life in fear of failure.
In Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? I'm able to connect with Connie in the clear juxtaposition of her home and social personalities. As a recent child of divorce, the atmosphere of my house is often very gloomy. The overarching feelings in my house turn me into a stressed, upset, and overall different person. My social personality is the complete opposite of this. Most people know me as outgoing, funny, and energetic. This connection with the protagonist made me realize that this theme also existed in the stories The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas by Ursula K. Le Guin and The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. In these 2 stories, the theme of an overarching gloom exists. The people living in Omelas and the town from The Lottery live a happy life, trying their best to ignore the wrong that is being done so that they don't have to address it. By living in a similar situation, trying to ignore what will make me upset, I am able to truly understand the feelings of these characters. One take.
Go.
The second and final story we'll be analyzing is A&P by John Updike. To me, the story was definitely less climactic than the other stories we've come across during this unit, but I felt as though A&P included many hidden gems. Again, I read and analyzed this story through a feminist lens, and I immediately noticed the oppression of the three young girls in their bathing suits by the supermarket manager, Langle. After noticing this, I immediately drew a parallel to The Headstrong Historian by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. In this story, expression through clothing is a vital part of Nwamka's culture. Yes, there are differences in these stories, but still, there are many times in which the attire of these women is criticized. I notice this because in my life, I have encountered the same criticism of my clothing, which is something that I express myself through, just like the three women in A&P and Nwamka in The Headstrong Historian.
I'm a person who doesn't let the flow of society intervene in how I express myself. I don't need to keep Snapchat streaks or wear the proper style of clothing just because that's what everyone else is doing. I'm not afraid to be vocal about how I feel. When I read A&P, I felt as though I was reading satire. The author constantly calls the residents of the town sheep. They just go through the motions, being herded through life, just like sheep. They follow what they are told is right, whether it comes from religion or media or tradition. Okay, he's not in your shot.
Okay.
She's not in your shot. I don't know why I said it. Okay, go.
Decisions continue to be faced in A&P in which Sammy chooses to stand up for the group of girls that he's attracted to, rather than sit back and watch them be yelled at by his boss. This act of rebellion in quitting and storming out of his job is representative of the new and radical feminist movement of the time. This parallels The Headstrong Historian, in which a contemporary issue, in this case, the abandonment of Aniquenwa's native tribe, is carried out. The difference is that in A&P, the act of rebellion is seen as good because Sammy is sticking up for the women, and in The Headstrong Historian, the change is seen as negative because it involves the new generation abandoning the culture of the old. This stands out to me because I'm also liberal when it comes to social issues such as feminism, and I've seen firsthand the abandonment of tribal culture when visiting Costa Rica on a service trip. Did you go yet?
The story A&P by John Updike allowed me to deeper explore the concept of assumption. In A&P, the people that are casually shopping or looking into the store from the outside don't understand what is truly going on inside. I noticed that the story A Rose for Emily by William Faulkner also explored the concept of people watching a situation and not truly understanding what was going on. In A Rose for Emily, many people, including the narrator, make assumptions about Emily without knowing what's truly going on in her life. This concept stood out to me because I have gone through the experience of being labeled. Being labeled because of the causes I support allowed me to understand the position that Emily and the three girls in A&P were in. And scene. Can someone stop it?
Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been by Joyce Carol Oates and A&P by John Updike. From all of our different perspectives, we were able to interpret the stories in our own ways.
By sharing our perspectives, we were able to eliminate the idea of a single story, as mentioned in the TED Talk, The Danger of a Single Story. The combination of our perspectives allowed us to understand the stories we read from different life perspectives.
Learning how to read stories this way also helped us understand the short stories that we read as a class.
Exploring the short stories this way has taught us the importance of eliminating the single story. Understanding a story from this perspective of people with different backgrounds than you can help you see parts of a story that you never noticed before.
I was like smiling at the